Hello, and welcome to another episode with me, Seema Pateel, an expert in all things WordPress and digital marketing. In my last episode, I talked to you about how you can start effectively marketing your services right away. After implementing those strategies, you've now been getting DMs and emails from your audience who are showing interest in working with you. Although referrals were great, this definitely makes you feel super excited. So how do you plan to handle responding to these messages that you've been getting? One is to fly by the seat of your pants, and this works great if you enjoy working 60 or 80 hours in your business and that brings you joy. And if it doesn't cause you anxiety to be disorganized and unprepared every time you get a message or an email, the other and the more efficient way is to create systems so you can know exactly what happens based on the kind of communication that you have received. For this, you'll need three things: process, tools, and implementation. So, what are processes? This establishes how you will create the experience that you want your clients to have. It will also establish how you feel as a business owner. Like I said, frazzled, anxious, overworked, burned out, or someone who always knows they are prepared. Someone who doesn't have to be at their computer at all times or be on their phone at all times, frantically responding to emails and messages. Some examples of processes are onboarding, offboarding, client project process, promotion or marketing process, and client communication. Today, I'll be talking all about client communication when they first reach out to you, showing interest in working with you. So, how do you want to handle client communication? This is a big part of running your own business, and it is one of the most time consuming parts of running your business. The first step to establishing a process regarding communication is to identify how do you want your audiences to communicate with you when they first think about wanting to work with you. Are you okay with any form of communication like DMs, comments on your posts, or emails, or voice messages? Or do you want to have a set process where you educate your audiences saying this is exactly how you handle new inquiries and your preferred way is, say, emails or DMs and emails? So, what is your preference? Next is to be clear on why you want to choose this process. You may be most comfortable if people message you because you always have your phone with you. You're active on all social media platforms and you enjoy the one-on-one conversation that comes, and you enjoy the personalization that DMs kind of have, the informality. Or you may choose to just have emails arrive so that you have an autoresponder set, so that you have a place to look for communication, so that it's easy for you to go back and check and read and organize. This is also the stage where you identify what you're going to do if someone chooses to ignore the way you prefer and just uses the mode that they are comfortable with. It's possible that someone who's not very comfortable with computers may have a hard time sending you emails and would prefer phone calls. But are you comfortable with it? And do you think that the information that's available in a phone call is easy for you to remember? Or do you have a way to record these conversations, with permission, of course, so that you can refer to it later and use the content in that to come up with a better proposal or a better quote that you can give to the person who reached out to you? Once you've figured out the mode, next step would be to figure out what you want to do when someone contacts you. Do you want to be the person who instantly replies to the emails or messages? Or do you want to be someone who takes at least 24 hours to get to your messages because you're so busy with all things work and family and friends? And for whenever you choose to reply, what do you want to respond with? Do you want to direct them to your website where they have access to a lot of information like your packages, your service, your timelines, about you, the contact page, the questionnaires? Or do you want to direct them to specific blogs or landing pages that'll help them get familiar with you and your processes? while you're figuring all of this out, you'll have to figure out if you want this to be automated. And if you want it to be automated, then would DMs on Instagram be the right way to reach out to you? The way you respond to the first contact kind of sets the precedent for how your relationship is going to be for the rest of the time, whether they convert into a client or they drop off at some point. So make sure that whatever you choose is going to work around your lifestyle and around your business processes. If you've been sending them to your website because it has all of your information, then I have a suggestion for you. Your website is a great place because it has all of the information that you want them to know. However, in my opinion, it's like that rabbit hole. Like they start off with your services page probably, and then they have details about you on your about page. You've written about yourself in a witty or quirky or fancy way. They read that and then they decide to go read your blog posts. And what happens is they may forget to actually contact you in this process. As a solution to this, you may send them to the questionnaire and a scheduler that you have, and that kind of works, but it kind of also feels a little impersonal. So, if that is how you feel and that is not the way you want to go, I'd suggest you create a landing page on your website. You don't need special tools, especially if you're on WordPress, then it's quite simple. So send them to a landing page so they get all the information that'll help them take the next step. For example, how do you communicate with someone who contacts you? Communicate very clearly that you respond to people who probably fill out your application form and schedule a call. Communicate very clearly that when you get DMs instead of emails, it takes you a little bit longer to get to them because you don't always spend a lot of time in the Instagram app. Or if you get Messenger, Facebook Messenger communication, then you don't frequently log into Facebook. So now the person who reached out to you knows that if they want you to respond as quickly as they are trying to get a response, then they better follow your process. This also very gently and kindly helps them know what works with you best. You can also talk about all of your packages, the pricing, the transformations that their business is going to experience by choosing the kind of package that suits their budget most. And you can set expectations on what is the estimated timeline the whole process is going to take, how you make it easy for them to transition from one phase to another in your process. You can even explain in as much detail as you want the exact process for each of your packages. This also helps them experience how it is going to be to work with you if they do choose to become your clients. And who doesn't want to work with someone who is organized, who is very clear, who is very efficient, and who has a system in place that helps them feel understood, heard, and helps them understand who you are and how you work. So if a designer contacts me saying, "Hi Seema, I'm working for this client, they have a WordPress website, and I want somebody else to do the development part this time, and I came to know that you do WordPress development. So how much do you charge? Can you please tell me how much you charge?" I am not going to reply to them saying, "I charge 40,000 to develop a website." Instead, I want to give them an experience of how it's going to work with me. So I'll start keeping that in mind and tailor my response. I find that all of this information is most effective when put in the form of a video. This helps them see you, so increases the know, like, and trust factor. This helps them consume the information that you have without feeling overwhelmed that there's so much information to be consumed. And it also helps get familiar with your way of communicating, your way of talking, and expressing information. So in the end, it helps improve the know, like, and trust factor. And once they have gone through this video, you can have them click a button which has an application that gathers the basic details like their name, email, an existing website if they have, their budget, and their exact need. You can tailor application form to have questions that are most relevant for your business and that helps you qualify the lead. If you know that you cannot help a business who is just starting out because they may see you as out of budget, then you can use the application as a form of filter, and instead of spending time on phone trying to explain your process and your packages and creating a proposal and then getting to know that you are not the right fit, you can inform them without wasting your time and theirs that looks like their budget is not something that can accommodate a designer of your experience. Next is the tools that you can use to implement whatever process you create. I prefer using minimum tools, so I try to work with WordPress as much as possible because my website is already on that. I know how to work with WordPress. I'm quite comfortable with it. I can create any kind of page that I want. So WordPress is my first choice when it comes to anything related to websites. Next is, where am I going to host the application form? If you're looking for something that's free, you can use Google Forms or Typeforms. And if you're on WordPress, then there are form plugins which are free. And again, you're staying within WordPress, so you're using fewer tools. However, my preferred way of gathering information is Dubsado. Dubsado is a client relationship management system and it hosts my application forms. It has a scheduler. It has details about my package. I can create my proposals in there. It has my contracts on it. I can send invoices with it. So it's a all-in-one system. That's my second favorite after WordPress. I could do all of this with WordPress and use some free alternatives. However, I find my investment in Dubsado more than pays itself. So when someone contacts me, I send them to a landing page that I've created on my WordPress website, and it has a video where I talk about how I can help them establish a system so that they can double their qualified leads each month. Once they have watched this video, I send them to an application form, which I also use as a qualifier because if they do not have the right kind of budget, I do not spend a lot of time. I send them resources that are actually free and that they can use to create these things all by themselves. So if someone doesn't have a budget, I don't see why I should make them spend money on me, because as far as I know, designers can build web pages by themselves. So having a basic setup until they can invest in me is a logical step in my opinion. So once they have filled the application and they are qualified, I automatically send them my scheduler where they can set up a call with me so that I can get on a call. And on this call, I don't have to sell to them. I don't have to explain to them that I have a great offer for them. I can just talk about how it's going to help them transform their business and help them make a decision if they want to invest in it right now or not. So once you've picked out tools that work best for you, you can start implementing this. It takes a little bit of time if you are new to the tools, so you can save yourself some time in research and fighting with the tools if you just hire someone out to do it for you, or you can work with it, spend some time, get to know these tools. They can really change your life for good. So you can implement your process in a way that is going to help you save time and keep you sane and impress your potential clients. So this is my strategy when someone shows interest in working with me by sending me a message or sending an email to me. I'd like to know what your process is when someone contacts you. If you have any suggestions or comments about the strategies that I've talked about today, or if you have suggestions on how I can improve the video, or if you have questions on how you can use your WordPress website to market efficiently and effectively, please leave a comment. In my next episode, I'll be talking all about onboarding a new client. You made a great first impression when they contacted you. Now it's time to kind of take it further after they've decided to work with you. So stay tuned, hit the notification bell, and do subscribe so you know when I upload my next video. Until next time, bye.